let's talk about Auburn, because Zach says Auburn at number 11 is bait. That's the one that more people have come up to me like in person. I had another national reporter come up to me at the national championship game, like, tell me what you see about Auburn, because I don't see it. And
I think it's fairly simple. I don't even know what's so complicated
even
about it.
Auburn fans have tweeted at me, "Are you guys insane? I'm an Auburn fan and I don't believe this."
Do they have the best wide receiver duo in the country next year?
Carnell
I don't know, like
Tate
Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate.
Jeremiah Smith beg to differ, but
I mean, Cam Coleman
and Eric Singleton Jr. Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton Jr. is a very good wide receiver duo. Now, the thing about Auburn, and here's the thing about all of this. Some of the teams that were good last year are going to be bad. Some of the teams that were bad last year are going to be good. The trick to figuring that out is figuring out who was kind of right on the cusp of being not bad that could then skip past not bad and be good. Auburn, the circumstances around their record, I do think that is a pretty accurate description. Like, they were in most of the games they lost. The Iron Bowl, no.
Best bad team this year.
I think that's probably that's an accurate way to put it, Ari. They were very close. Crippling turnovers, usually initiated by the quarterback position. That was their Achilles heel. So they go out in the portal and they go get quarterbacks. Not one quarterback. They get two quarterbacks out of the portal and a blue chip freshman quarterback. So they have Jackson Arnold coming from Oklahoma. They have Ashton Daniels, who was Stanford's starting quarterback. And then they have Deuce Knight coming in that they signed as a freshman from Mississippi, had been committed to Notre Dame and flipped to Auburn during the season. I'm not projecting necessarily that, because I think people think, oh, this is all Jackson Arnold hype. No. I don't know who's going to win the competition. I'm assuming it's Arnold, but I'm not guaranteeing that. But I think whoever wins the competition will have great receivers to throw to, will have a solid offensive line that was one of Auburn's better offensive lines of the last 10 years last year and brings almost everyone back. And they added depth with guys who started at their old schools who may not start at Auburn.
The thing that I like about Auburn the most is that I feel like we know they'll be able to run the ball. Or at least they'll be a tough team that will run the ball. And then you add in the explosiveness. And there's a lot, like, listen, if their quarterbacks stink, then they're going to stink again. But I think I like their chances of being really good.
Can I offer a theory as to why even Auburn fans don't believe us?
Because they're scorned and they've had a. Well, here's the thing with Auburn too.
No. It's not just the Auburn fans. This is why everybody doesn't believe us on this. They don't like Hugh Freeze.
Oh, yeah.
They personally dislike Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah.
But
this isn't. Yeah.
I mean, even Auburn fans don't like him because they didn't like him when he was the Ole Miss coach. He hasn't immediately turned their program around. So they don't like him personally either. And so they're saying, well, I don't know if I believe in this. And then, of course, the non-Auburn fans really don't like him. So they're like, how could you say Hugh Freeze can do this? Because, well, I saw when Hugh Freeze had good offensive linemen and good receivers at Ole Miss. They were good. Like, but not.
And isn't it so on brand?
National championship good, too? But like right about here good. Almost free square for this weekend's NFL Conference Championship games on Prize Picks, best daily fantasy game in America. Download the app. Use the code Staples when you sign up. Play $5, get $50 instantly. Jaden Daniels is your almost free square. You hit the more than on Jaden Daniels' 0.5 passing yards. If he throws for a yard, you win that square. The way Prize Picks works, you pick at least 2 squares. The more squares you pick, the higher the potential payout. Patrick Mahomes against the Bills, 253.5. You decide, is he going to go more than or less than that? Obviously, they've got the NBA, college basketball, the NHL. Whole lot of stuff going on Prize Picks, but I'm sure a lot of you getting ready for those NFL playoff games because they're very big. You got your Josh Allen 0.5 rushing plus receiving TDs. Do you think Josh Allen's going to run in a touchdown against the Chiefs?
I do think that.
Jalen Hurts, 182.5 passing yards. You go more than or less than against that Commanders defense, which is not great. But Jaden Daniels on the other side, whoo, boy, I'm excited to see him play. Excited to see what he can be going forward. So, a lot going on still on Prize Picks. Download the app. Use the code STAPLES. Play $5. Get $50 instantly.
Auburn is always the team, too, that like just goes like this. It's like, middling, and then woo! Like there's no Auburn's like never a steady build place. Like it's like if it happens and it clicks, it happens like overnight. It feels like. Is that a good categorization of it? You would know more than me, but I always feels like Auburn's.
That's 100% right. It's a roller coaster. Now I will say, like that 2014 that went undefeated. The team before that was good. Like 2003, they were good. 2000, like that was a build to that. But 2010 was Cam Newton got there. 2013 was Gus Malzahn became the head coach. Nick Marshall became the quarterback. Everything changed. Like it is like that a lot of times at Auburn.
Yeah. I just feel like what do you think their record would have been a year ago if they had a quarterback that was like above average?
8-4.
So like we're not even. So I
think
we're
one more win than that.
We're giving one more win than that. And that is what you get when you get Eric Singleton too. And also Cam Coleman being 1 year better. Like, I just feel like too, a lot of times in college football, like if you have a receiving core that gets open a lot and a quarterback that can get those players the ball, you're going to win a lot of games. Like, I don't know, maybe we overdid it, but like, I don't think that you could do, I think it would be wrong. This isn't like a let's look at us thing. It's like, I think if you don't put Auburn in your top 15, you're just wrong at this moment.
Well, here's the thing about it. It's also an odd numbered year, which means the Iron Bowl's in Auburn, the Georgia game's in Auburn. If they can win one of those, because those are two they've not been able to win. Like if they can win one of those, everything gets better. The schedule's not easy, but it's as manageable as you're going to get because you're getting those two games at home. So yeah. I really think you gotta put aside your personal feelings about the coach in all of these situations. Because I really think it is generally the visceral reaction of these people dislike Hugh Freeze personally, and therefore it's not possible for Auburn to be good. It's quite possible. They were not that far off last year, which is why Hugh Freeze still has a job. Like if that record, if they'd put together that SEC record in a different way, they would have already fired him.